Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today I'm going to be going over my top 10 favorite vehicles of all time in Grand Theft Auto Online. I typically do this video around my birthday every year, and I figured I would do it again this year. So in case the title and what I just said weren't explicitly obvious, these are my vehicles that I love the most in Grand Theft Auto Online, and some of them are newer, some of them are a lot older, that's for sure, and there's a good mix in between here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Kicking it off, we got the Progen Luiva for $2,697,000. The Progen Luiva is a car that I just fell in love with as soon as I drove it when it came out with the Mansions DLC, and it's by far the newest car on this list, and it's not even close. I really like the styling of it. It reminds me a lot of the newer McLaren models. When I first saw it, it really reminded me of a 765 LT, which is my favorite McLaren. And I think that's probably the real reason why I just love it so much. But it's got some really cool features. It's got an active rear spoiler. You can put a windshield on it. It does not have to be windshieldless. It does not have to be a McLaren Elva like it comes as stock. It's also the fastest non-HSW supercar in Grand Theft Auto Online. It tops out at 136 miles per hour, I'm pretty sure it is. It's rear-wheel drive. It has really good handling. The acceleration's great. It handles well. You can drift it. You can power slide it. I feel like the double clutching on this is really easy as well, which I really enjoy because I spam double clutch like all the time when I play GTA. It's just something that I like to do. And I think the Progen Luiva, just above all else, is just a really, really good looking car. It sounds nice. There's really nothing to not like about the Progen Luiva other than the price tag. Maybe it's a little on the expensive side, but I feel like it's worth it. I personally love this thing, so that's it for number 10. Moving on to the second newest car on the list, we have the Bravado Banshee GTS for $1,989,500, and I have HSW on mine, so that's an additional $1.9 million. The Banshee GTS is the highest top speed vehicle in the entire game, as far as land vehicle goes, obviously, topping out at 172.5 miles per hour, which actually makes it faster than most things in this entire game. Even a lot of planes and helicopters are slower than this thing. The Banshee GTS is obviously based off of the 2013 and up Dodge Vipers until they retired. It's rear-wheel drive, and it's extremely fast. Similar to the Progen Luiva, it's also extremely easy to double clutch, which again, I really enjoy because I just love spamming that. It's some sort of autism or something that I have, I guess. Customization-wise though, it's got a lot of stuff you can do to it. And for it to be so fast and be based off of, you know, an American car and everything, I think it actually has phenomenal handling. A lot of people really don't like the handling of the Banshee GTS from what I see in my comments, but I personally think it's great. I really have nothing bad to say about the Banshee GTS's handling. I think the styling is great. The only real gripe that I have with the Banshee GTS is I just think it could have used maybe a bit more customization. There's a lot that can be done, but there could have been more, I feel like. I think it's a really great car though. I really enjoy driving it. It's just fun to cruise around in Los Santos with this thing. I just love it. So up next we have a very old car, the Debauchee Massacro, for $275,000. I think this is maybe the best looking car in all of GTA Online. I really, really love how this thing actually looks. It's based on the Aston Martin Vanquish that came out in 2014 and lasted through till about 2018, I want to say it was. Customization wise, it had a shocking amount of stuff that could be done to it, and it came out with a High Life update all the way back in 2014. And I remember buying this thing on like day one on the Xbox 360, and I just loved it. It's a rear-wheel drive sports class vehicle, and it seats 2 players. It's not fast, and it kind of has a slight understeer issue to it. It's not like the worst understeer ever, but you can definitely feel it if you're cornering hard with it. But I don't care because it's so cheap, especially by today's standards. $275,000 is absolutely nothing. And for such a good looking car, it's just so nice to cruise around in this one in GTA Online. I really just like it for that simple fact. It's not really fast. It's not that thrilling to drive. It's not really amazing in any one aspect other than looks, I would say. It also sounds pretty cool too, but really the main thing about it for me is the look of it, and I just think it's a fantastic car. It's one that I would highly recommend, especially being so cheap. I really don't think you could ever be especially disappointed with the Massacro. There's also a race car version of it that has a like racing livery and everything, which is pretty cool too. But I think a lot of the customization was actually designed for the Massacro race car, because there's some really aggressive front splitters with canards and rear diffusers, as well as huge spoilers and side skirts and stuff. So I think it's a really cool car, no matter how you want to do it. If you want to make like a full race build on a Massacro, or if you want to make it look very stock, either way, it's an awesome car. Definitely highly recommend it. Up next, we have the Grotti Italy GTO for $1,965,000, and this is yet again another sports class car. This one though is all-wheel drive, and it came out a lot more recently. I believe it was released in 2018, and it's based off of the Ferrari 812 Superfast in real life, but it has a few aspects of the Ferrari F12, which is one of my favorite Ferraris ever. Customization wise, this thing has an extreme amount of stuff that you can do to it. One of my favorite customization battle episodes was featuring the Grotti Italy GTO, and it's probably one of my most proud builds I've ever done in GTA Online. I had this olive green with gold secondary and gold wheels on my Italy GTO that I created, and it just looked absolutely fantastic. But beyond that, it's one of my favorite sports class vehicles to race with as well. And a big part of the reason for that is because the Italy GTO gets affected extremely badly by curb boosting, and by badly, I mean it makes it go really, really fast. So for racing, it's actually fantastic. It's great. And paired with the all-wheel drive, you have a lot of grip in the corners too, and it's just a well-balanced car to drive. In free mode, it's also a lot of fun, and in free mode, you can really get this thing going because of how bumpy the streets around Los Santos are. So it's just a super fun car to drive. I enjoy it a lot. It's chaotic, it's hectic, and it's really, really good looking. Until HSW came out, this was the only car I would ever use in sports class races. Now I use the Banshee GTS quite often, but if it's ever a non-HSW race, best believe I'm going for the Grotti Italy GTO. This thing is just so fantastic. Up next, we have the Insurgent Pickup Custom for $1,998,000. The Insurgent Pickup was never my preferred Insurgent in GTA. I always had the regular version, but when they came out with the custom variant of the pickup, I was ecstatic and I was hooked since day one when they released that, because this thing is just fantastic. If you have bunker research done, you can upgrade the armor level of it, and you can even get it with heavy armor so that the gunner on the top of the vehicle is more well protected. You can also equip it with proximity mines if you have them unlocked through bunker research and everything like that. But the Insurgent Pickup Custom is just a beast. It's a great car for off-roading. It's got insane ground clearance. It has a very low center of gravity as well, so it's easy to keep it on its wheels, I find. It also has a lot of mass, so hitting things out of your way and causing just destruction with it is super easy. Plus, it's one of the most armored vehicles in the game, so when I used to go out and fight griefers and stuff like that, I would always use the Insurgent Pickup Custom because it was just so reliable. And of course, when I would go out and fight griefers a lot was back when the Oppressor Mark II was like prolific. It was pre-nerf, the missiles were way better, it was way more annoying to deal with, and the Insurgent Pickup Custom kept me safe a lot of the time. Definitely a really fantastic vehicle, super well armored, super fun to drive, not that fast or anything, you know, that way. Not a very performance-oriented vehicle at all, not that you should expect it to be. But the Insurgent Pickup Custom is just fantastic. I love this thing. I would buy it 100 times more if I could. Up next, we have the Grotti Carbonizzaire for $195,000. This was my OG favorite car in GTA. It was the car that I saw in the trailers, on the cover art of GTA 5, on some early screenshots, and I was just like, that thing looks fantastic. And at the time, I was obsessed with the Ferrari F12 and the Ferrari 458, and the Carbonizzaire is kind of a weird combination of both vehicles, but this thing also came out when Rockstar was still making like very unique GTA vehicles. They weren't like direct carbon copies of a real life car, and I just thought the Carbonizzaire was such a cool vehicle. I also love the fact that it's a hardtop convertible, and that it's rear-wheel drive, and that it sounds so fantastic. It also has a tiny bit of customization. You can add like a spoiler option to it and change the exhaust, I do believe it is. But the Carbonizzaire is just such a fun car to drive. I love having a Carbonizzaire. I think I own 3 of these to this day, and it's just such a cool car. I mean, dropping the top and just going for a cruise around in GTA Online, especially back in the day, was just the shit. That's all I wanted to do. The Carbonizzaire was such a cool car, and you know, as the years have gone on, it's gotten less special, I would say, but it's still so unique that it kind of has retained a little bit of that specialness that I feel like a lot of the other OG cars kind of haven't retained. at least not to the same degree as the Carbon is Air, and I think a lot of people love the Carbon is Air, so let me know what you think of it in the comments. At number 4, we got the Vigilante for $3,750,000. This is one that I've learned to love. I actually didn't like the Vigilante like at all. If you'd asked me like 4 years ago, I never would have put the Vigilante on here. However, I've gained a certain amount of respect for it because I've gotten really, really good at using it effectively because of Manhunt. Now, if you don't watch my channel, if you don't know who I am and this is your first time ever watching, subscribe. But myself and my friends do Manhunt on my channel and on their channels, and a lot of the time we'll use the Vigilante as a hunter vehicle. And obviously it's very chaotic. It's got the rocket booster that can launch vehicles off to the moon. It can also propel the Vigilante forward very quickly, obviously, as well. It has front-mounted machine guns, it's got missiles, it's crazy, the missile tracking is insane. It's almost armored, but it's not explosive resistant, so it can just take a lot of bullets, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But I find the Vigilante to be extremely satisfying to use in GTA Online. And I've learned how to control it while it's in midair, which if you've driven a Vigilante, you know how often it ends up in midair because of that booster. But I've kind of figured out how to land it effectively on, you know, all kinds of different angles and stuff like that to get the boost to recharge to then take off again. And I just really enjoy driving the Vigilante. It's one of my favorite vehicles to hunt with in Manhunt, if not my favorite vehicle to hunt with in a Manhunt. I just think it's so entertaining. It's such a cool concept. Obviously, it's also based on the Batmobile, which is just sick. But the fact that it's so good in GTA at, you know, doing Manhunt and stuff like that, it truly felt like it was kind of meant for that sort of thing. So I just love the Vigilante. I think it's a really cool vehicle. Definitely really expensive, but in my opinion, it's worth it. Up next, we have a jet, and this is the Hydra, the Mammoth Hydra, going for $3 million to $4 million, depending on if you have the trade price unlocked or not. The Hydra is my OG favorite plane in GTA Online. Now, the Hydra got nerfed back in 2022, and depending on what side of the aisle you're on, that is either very sad or very good. For me, it's very sad because I loved using the Hydra, but not for nefarious reasons, but to hunt down people that were doing bad things in GTA Online, like killing people, doing sale missions, blowing up sale vehicles, and stuff like that. I would always take my Hydra and I would go and blow up the griefers with it, and I did that a lot. The Hydra was my favorite vehicle to use in GTA Online for that purpose, and it was also really good at grinding money early on in the game. I remember when I first met NPC, who you guys will know from Manhunt on my channel and everything like that. I remember grinding trash talk with him back in the day to make us both money, and I had a Hydra and I would use it repeatedly over and over and over and over again to complete that mission, and we grinded probably millions of dollars using that exact method. So I have a lot of fond memories with it. It's the Raiju before the Raiju as well. It's just like an OG version of it. It's slower, it's less maneuverable and everything like that, but it's nostalgic, you know, and it's a really fun jet. And still to this day, even despite the nerf, it's not that bad either. Like it's now at like B11 level of canon, if not a little bit better. So the Hydra's still really good, and I still love it. I just flew it again for the first time in a long time the other day, as you guys can see in the background footage here, and I just forgot how much I missed it and how good it was, and honestly how good it still is. I love the Hydra, definitely one of my top 10 favorite vehicles ever. At number 2, we have the legendary Canis Seminole. You can get these for free off the street, although, you know, that is pretty sinful to steal from another Canis Seminole owner, so please make sure if you're gonna get yourself one, to take it, you know, unoccupied off the street. Make sure it's parked and there's nobody inside it. You wouldn't want to deprive a Seminole owner, you know, of their prized possession in front of their eyes, at least. The Canis Seminole is just a really good off-road vehicle. It does have some, you know, extracurricular features that some people will probably mention in the comments on this video, but the Canis Seminole is just a fun off-road vehicle. It's not fast, it's not great, it's just fun. It's a fun off-roader, and I really, really like it. You can drop your favorite Canis Seminole fact in the comments down below. I'm sure many of you have some of your own favorites. But the Canis Seminole is it's just a sweet Jeep, man. It's really cool. And I was pleasantly surprised at how good it was at off-roading the first time when I customized it. And that led me to glaze it for years. And here it is as my second favorite vehicle of all time in GTA Online. But my number one favorite vehicle in GTA is the Truffaut Adder for $1 million. Now, before you go ahead and be, oh man, you're just a glazer, you just had the most expensive car when it first came out. Completely false, actually. I remember when I first started playing GTA Online, I didn't like the adder at all. In fact, the only people that had adders at the time were glitchers and people that would kill somebody with like a $2 billion bounty or whatever. But I remember deciding one day that I really wanted an adder, and I wanted to earn it legitimately, obviously. And I remember grinding out the mission called Potshot repeatedly for literally hours until I made $1 million. And for reference, Potshot made $10,000 every time you did it. So this took me a very, very, very long time. But when I got my adder, I felt so rewarded. And that made me realize a lot of things about just life in general. You know, that if you work hard, you'll get what you want. And that's kind of the philosophy behind my YouTube. I've daily uploaded for almost 6 years straight now. I think I basically took my Potshot True Fade adder logic there and just applied it to YouTube, and that's why I'm here. So I really honestly owe a lot of things to the adder, I think, because I think if I hadn't grinded out Potshot like 100 times to get an adder, I don't know if I'd have a YouTube channel. I really don't. So I love the adder. Beyond just that reason, I love how it sounds. I love the driving experience of it. It has a wicked top speed for how old it is. It's like 126 miles an hour, which for a non-HSW supercar in 2013, pretty quick. It has absolutely no customization, and there's like nothing you can do to it. You can change the wheels on it, I guess, in the primary and secondary colors, and you can tint the windows, I guess, if you want to. That's the extent of customization on the True Fade adder, but the adder is just a really special car to me. It sounds great, it drives really well, it's a fun car to use, and yeah, that's the reason it's my favorite car in GTA Online. So there you guys have it. Those are my top 10 favorite vehicles of all time in Grand Theft Auto Online, and that's kind of crazy that this is probably the last time I will ever make this video, because we're probably going to be on GTA 6 Online next year, so that'll be interesting. I'll have to make a top 10 favorite vehicles of all time in GTA 6 Online, I guess, but it's kind of actually a bit of a bittersweet feeling, but anyway. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Peace.